I want to call to order the Woodlawn Recreation Committee meeting, November 5th, 2020. Could we get a roll call
Yes, ma'am. Esther Boyd,
here?
Robert Lawson,
Here.
and Garrett Burkhalter, who will be coming in shortly.
Okay, we can take a few minutes to read the minutes from September 1st, 2020. Okay, does anyone have anything they want to add, take away? Okay, we have a motion. I need a motion to approve the minutes for September 1st, 2020.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for September 2020.
I second the motion. So all ayes. Okay, then we can move on. Okay, the topics for discussion are here, and Mr. Fuller, the interim recreation director, he will be answering the questions for us, and he'll just be going down the list here and answering them, and and he may have to be called away because he is running the rec center at the time. His other employee had to leave early, so we'll let you go ahead and talk about these agenda items, John.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. Want to start out with some COVID updates. We are still in the pandemic. We're still practicing our social distancing, with everybody coming in the building, whether it's they're coming in for recreation or whether they're coming in for military to go to the recruiters in the back, what have you. We're still taking temperatures, recording temperatures for whoever comes in the building. Our basketball practices have began. We're having grades 2 through 6. We are just holding practices here. We're not having any home games here. All the games will be played away, with the first game starting the first Saturday in December. As far as that's about it, just as far as our recreation updates, what we have going on, our practices is just are beginning. So we are starting to, I'm not going to say be packed, but we're starting to see more people like we were used to seeing before the COVID, not like before the COVID, but we're starting to see more people again than what we have been seeing in the past few months.
I wanted to ask you a question. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pam.
If we're talking about the COVID-19 Recreation Center, bullet 1, I got a question in regards to the COVID waiver. I know we talked about that before, about, I guess, members or people that are coming through the Recreation Center to sign a waiver.
Everybody who participates in any activity or anything here. Now, if someone's coming in to go to the military, they're not signing. Right. Anybody affiliated with the rec center, whether they're a member. We've had people come purchase memberships lately. Basketball, every kid has a waiver on file.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I know we talked about that, and that's in the minutes that.
Yeah, that's very important. So glad you brought that up. But yes, every child, everybody, just to
So if they're returning, they come Monday and they're returning again. You know that you have that on file. How does your staff know that person's already filled out one?
Well, it's just me and my Kia. So, and we meet, we meet twice a week. We have our scheduled time where we meet twice a week where we go over things like this. You know, that way we're both on the same page, because there might be times where she's out doing things, work, you know, out doing work stuff. I might be out doing work things, and someone might come while the other person's not here. So they have to be, you know, up to par on what's going on. So we communicate very well. Like I said, we meet and we go over all these things in our weekly meetings twice a week.
So even your last question, even your people that come in for basketball practice, are they part of that as well?
Say that again.
You know, your group that's coming in for, I think you're having basketball practice.
Yes, ma'am.
They're part of that too.
They sign. We, like I said, we do temperatures, and they eat before when they filled out their registration forms and paid their fees, they filled out the waiver form with that.
Okay.
If that answers your question, I'm not sure if that answers.
It did. I just read it, and I just wanted to make sure. I know we talked about it before.
Yeah, definitely.
Understand if that was still being done.
Definitely.
Okay. Thanks.
That's good. Okay, any other, I wanted to say on question number 2, you did tell me that you're following the state guidelines for basketball, and you can talk about that. What you were saying that, well, tell us about, you have 10 on a team, but when we get down to basketball, you can talk about that. The splash park construction update, as far as I know on the update, we do not have any bids in yet for these repairs, but the intention is that the pool will reopen in May, or May 30th, Memorial Day, as scheduled. I'm not sure when they'll be able to complete these repairs, but we do not have any bids for the splash park, not as yet. Anybody have anything to add to that? Or John, have you talked to Jerry about that?
Not recently. I will touch base with him. Not recently. I have not spoke with him recently in regards to the splash park.
Yes, Pam.
I would just like to say that I think it's just very important that we follow up with that. Ms. Boyd, I'm not sure if that's going to be you, but we need to follow up with that because our residents are depending on that to happen, because we didn't have it this year, 2020, and we've talked about it in various sessions, council, at rec as well. So we're going to need some follow-up on that to see if those bids are happening, because our residents are looking for that part to be completed in May of 2021. So I know they're going to be, I know I've had some questions asked, you know, and while I've been out, and I think we need to follow up to see what bids or what we need to do to get bids. And I think we need to do it soon because winter will be approaching soon.
So John, will you check with Jerry and make sure that you are keeping up?
Yes, I will check with him, and then I'll send an email out to council.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay, and the trick or treat event, you can talk, trick or trunk, I'm sorry, event, John, you want to speak on that?
Trunk or treat, yes. It was great. I don't have really too much to say about it. It was a major success, and it's only that way because of the people who helped out. I mean, Miss Rosemary, Miss Pam, I mean, they came in the Friday before and bagged up over. And just let me back up a little bit and say how great of an idea and how much easier that was pre-bagging stuff and just being, it made everything so much smoother. And I thank, you know, Miss Boyd, I thank Miss Rosemary, Miss Pam, you guys for coming in Friday and bagging up over 350 bags of candy. We couldn't have did it without you, and just all the volunteers that came out and helped pass out candy. It was chilly, it was cold, you know, but we hung in there. I know next time I'll make sure we have some hot chocolate or something to keep us warm. But it was wonderful. It was, you know, I want to say we got at least about 40 to 50 cars, a lot more than I expected. So it was nice. It was nice. It was nice. Yes.
A lot of happy kids and happy smiling faces.
The fire department came out. That was, you know, the kids were happy to see the fire. We had few people dressed up in costumes, you know, so it was nice. It was nice. And just the whole it was a great idea, just the drive-through part of it instead of the, walking through. The drive-through part of it made it much smoother for people to come. We had a couple of confusions at first with, how it was set up, but just being able to drive through, and it was awesome.
Yeah, at least we were able to do something for our residents, and there wasn't a lot going on around the city just because of the COVID. So just to be able to do something in our own area, and it was a success, because I've still been getting stopped about it. Some of the kids that came through, that they were happy that we were able to do something. So that's always good.
Good.
Yeah, there were a lot of happy faces. Next time we'll have somebody take some pictures too.
We have some. We have some.
Yeah.
I have some. I can get them sent around. Yeah, I have some.
Post them on the website. That'd
be good.
Yep, I have some.
Ashley, maybe she can help get some pictures out.
Okay.
That would be great. And then when we have our communication paper again, I'm not sure when that's going to start. Monica, do you know when the communications are going out to the residents again, or when it's starting? Didn't we have a paper or a newsletter?
Yeah, we have one.
Oh,
Trying to get to it.
I'm sorry.
Trying to get to it, Ms. Boyd.
I'm sorry. Do you need some help? I definitely can.
Oh, yeah. Well, we just need more time.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, we can include some things. We're gonna be late with it, but we can include some things. So I appreciate that, John. That went very well. And Rosemary.
Yeah, just to everybody who came, all the everybody who came out and helped.
There, Bobby.
It took everybody. It took everybody, to make it the way it turned out.
Thank you. All right, and the program analysis on here, and I was just saying the number of employees we had at the rec on the 31st, and the employee pay and benefit, we can talk about that later, or you can deal with that with Tim, and the number of attendees at the rec center for September and October. So could you elaborate on that, John?
So right now, we have 2 full-time, including myself, and program director Mikeia, and then we also have our part-time custodian DJ Lewis. So it's a total of 3 of us right now.
Okay.
And as far as the attendees here, I went back to let me start out by saying our basketball teams are practicing twice a week in the evening. That started they started at different times, but the first team started, I would say, almost 2 to 3 weeks ago. So each team is, like I said, we have grades 2 through 6. So each team is practicing twice a week for an hour. Since September 22nd, 2020 to present day right now, we've sold 6 memberships. Our spin class went to the first week in October until they moved to another facility because of the weather. They were working outside but couldn't come in, so they moved to another facility. Then our Zumba class went to the middle of September before stopping. Our spin class averaged it was twice a week, averaged 4 to 5 participants each week, sometimes less, sometimes more. Our Zumba class averaged it was 1 time a week, averaged 3 to 4 participants a week. Our class, I should say. I'm sorry.
Why did the spin class and the Zumba class? Why did the
Zumba class shut down because she had some clients that were a little older, and she was just at the time the numbers were starting to go up, so she was more comfortable kind of putting the class on hold until we got some better results. And then the spin lady, she couldn't come, and she wanted to go to another place because it was getting cold outside and she couldn't continue to stay outside. And
she had to stay outside because why? Why did you have the spin class outside?
Because we weren't doing anything inside. As far as programs, we weren't doing anything inside.
Then why were you not doing anything inside with the programming?
COVID.
Oh, is that so? Who told you? The village manager set that up?
Yep.
Okay, so that was per the village manager. Okay.
I have a question, John. Have you ever thought about looking into virtual Zumba or any of the other things?
Yes, I'm so out there. We were going. You know what? I am so glad you brought that. You keep bringing up the right stuff today. Yes, that is, yes. A lot of, I've called around. That's something like I've called around to a few different places, and pretty much everybody's doing it. They're doing virtual classes for adults, classes for kids, exercise classes, everything, Zumba. They're doing all that stuff online.
Yeah, I've been invited to virtual painting, virtual bingo. There's a lot of different things that are really happening, and actually they're pretty fun. So might just be a suggestion into looking into, because we don't know how much longer this is going to go out.
I know, yeah.
And I know I asked a couple of my friends that have younger kids. I asked them if they would be interested in virtual painting for kids, and they said they would love it because the kids really don't have that much to do.
Okay.
And I asked them, would they be willing to pay for it if it was a small fee? And they said they would.
Okay.
So, for like the painting supplies, you would have to like come up with how to get that to them. Mm-hmm. We could have like a drive-by pickup, or, charge with a small fee.
Or maybe something like, because we, the past couple of weeks, we've had the library, the van, the bus that comes on Thursdays. They come and park in the front from 6 to 7, and kids are welcome to come, and they don't get on the bus or anything like that. Basically, they ask the kid what grade they're in, and they actually get the books for the kids and bring them out and give to them. So I don't know if it's something that we could do, something like that, where we actually get it and they come and we give it to them that way somehow.
Yeah, and you could actually, I could possibly give you some ideas, just because I've seen a lot in the last 6 months.
Okay.
That I've been invited to or been a part of, where it's virtual and it's actually fun. That's what's funny about it. It doesn't sound like it, but it is.
Okay.
And you get enough people, just that virtual, and it's about to get really cold out. It's not going to be a lot to do with COVID starting to grow again. So just some suggestions that, just think about it.
I'm going to get with you on that. Yeah, I'm going to get with you on the side with that and talk with you more about that.
And that bingo thing, I know they would love it.
Especially our seniors.
And then the
have some small prizes, or, something, certificates, or something small, Graders gift cards, $5, something simple, and it could be fun just for our residents.
It goes a long way. Some simple, like a long way.
And you can mail out like the gift cards you're talking about and all that kind of stuff.
You just mail them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And I know the spin class, even my sister has a bike. And so he has one at home, and I have privy to one. And so a lot of seniors may have that. So if you did a spin class, not just for seniors, but for everybody, seniors in particular, because they're stuck at home. That's a great idea. She rides her bike every day. She would love to attend a virtual spin class.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the gentleman that was actually teaching, his name was Ray, was teaching class there, the yoga class.
Yeah, I tried to,
Ray was doing some virtual too, out of Wyoming and some different places. So, I mean, it's just a suggestion.
Definitely.
You'd have to check it a little further, but we might be able to get this off the ground a little bit, just because of winter and we're still in COVID.
I'm all for it. Definitely.
Okay. That's great. Great ideas.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back out? I'm not sure that I captured the information on number of attendees for September and October. Is that
Yeah,
you said a couple things, but is there an overall number for September and October, or is it just?
There's not an overall number. I kind of just went, off the programs that we were doing, and just gave numbers from the program. I didn't have a total. I don't have a total. I can get that. It's not a problem.
Can you just have that for me for later?
I sure can.
Hey, John.
Hey.
Excuse me, guys. I'm helping my daughter with some things, but I had a question. I don't know if you guys went over this, but if you have, how many people probably came through to vote at our?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, quite a few. Quite a few. It died down. I say when we first, I got here about 5:30, and when the polls opened, For the first couple hours, it was jam packed. After that, it died down. After that, at certain times of the day, it would kind of pick up. But the busiest part of the day was the first 2 hours.
Okay, yeah, that's great. If you could get those numbers from the Board of Election, maybe report out on them next time, John.
Okay.
But I worked the polls and we had quite a few when I was there too. So, and I worked the polls from 11 to 2, so on Wednesday. So anybody else have any questions on that? Okay, thank you, John. With the program attendees. Here, you mentioned about some future fall, winter program plans. Well, we have the winter basketball going on. And how much, what was the revenue for that? And how much did it cost per student to attend?
What program are you referring to?
Basketball, winter basketball.
Winter basketball is $60 for residents and $75 for non-residents.
Okay, how many kids do you have in that?
We have right now we have our second grade, sixth grade, and third grade teams is filled. We have 10 kids per team. Every kid is signed up, registered, and paid. Like I said, well, the numbers are different because some are, under the resident category, some are under the non-resident category.
Okay, all right. So how many kids did you plan? How many teams did you plan to have? And just any number or?
Well, I mean, we started out by saying we're doing grades 2 through 6, taking 10 kids per team. Now I'll use fourth grade for an example. If we get 15 or 16 fourth graders, we'll create an additional team.
Okay.
Go along, but and this is me out there, 10 kids, we're given what's going on right now, 10 kids should be the absolute max.
Okay. Okay.
15.
All right. And that's going along with state guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Was that 30 children? You said three levels?
Right
three
now,
grades?
yeah, registrations are still open. Right now, we have 3 teams that's filled, 3 teams that's full. Yes, with 10 kids apiece.
Okay. All right. So is there a maximum?
Maximum what? Number of teams or?
Yeah, teams.
No. I mean, yes and no. I mean, no. I mean, we're not gonna, we try not to turn anybody down, but there's no matter. If we keep, getting kids, I mean, we'll cut it off at a certain point. I mean, we're not gonna have 100 teams.
Right.
Or anything like that, but
you can meet those guidelines. Because how long are the practices?
An hour.
So then in one night, how many teams could practice? I guess they.
The way it's set up is you might have a team practicing at 6 o'clock in one gym. Now they'll finish at 7. The next practice won't start until 7:30 because, like I said, we're sanitized. We have to. It's a lot. It's a lot, and also kids aren't allowed to come in. The most they can come in is 10 minutes before practice.
Okay.
They cannot come in no time before that. If they do, they can't come in. We're trying to limit. We're still trying to do things, but we're trying to limit it as much as possible to people and while being safe at the same time.
Hey, John. Hey, John, I got a quick question. I'm sorry. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Bobby.
Oh, my question is this, John. I got kind of disconnected a little bit. How long, 2 questions. The first question is, how long is the season going to last? And that's the first question. And then the second question is, do you feel totally safe with what you've come up with as far as procedures and safety measurements?
The first question, they will play unless for some reason the season gets shortened or canceled. They will play
Right.
to the usually the season ends end of January, February tournament. So they're usually done middle of February, going towards the end of February. And to answer your other question, do I feel 100% safe? I'm basically there, but I'll be honest with you. I mean, everything that's been put in place, and I'm not the only one. I'm not gonna say this has all been me, but there's been a lot of other people who's helped and put things in place. And one thing I can say is, you know, we've been safe and we've been good so far. We haven't had any cases yet. So, I mean, I feel like what we're doing is we're doing things the right way because we haven't had any reports of anything yet. And this is going back to when we ran summer camp back when COVID first was really, you know, we had no COVID cases then. So, I mean, I feel like we are doing things right and being safe.
Can I ask?
Okay.
Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Okay. Kind of lost my thought for a second, but I guess my main question. Thanks for answering both of those questions. And I guess what I'm getting at is, I need a consensus, like, for council. Like, I don't want us to go through like how we did our pool summer and then we didn't utilize our pool. You know, I think we kind of look back at maybe half glass full, you know. So I do want to, I'm with running the programs for the for basketball and stuff, but I think as council, we should try to push forward with this because, like John said, if it comes to a part where it gets too dangerous for the kids, we can always just cancel it. But I think as council, we really need to look forward for our residents to have something to do and for us to kind of continue on. We got to pick up the pieces because right now for recreation, we haven't had too much for the kids. I mean, we passed out candy over the weekend, but as far as like kids' presence, I think we need to try to, as best we can, get back to normal until, you know, something else changes. So that's my wish for council. And then that was it. That was just my only last thought.
Cool.
Thank you. Go ahead, John.
Oh, no, I didn't have no. I was just saying thank you.
Pam?
Bobby, I don't know if you were on. We were trying to brainstorm about doing more virtual things for the kids and the seniors and our residents. Since the COVID.
Oh, I missed that part.
Increase a little bit. Were you on?
No, I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think you had had to drop off, but yeah, we were just talking about brainstorming some virtual things that we can offer to our youth, our seniors, and our residents. Because there's a lot of virtual things I know I've been invited to and have done some. And John and I were just talking about it. We're going to get together later to see if we can try to make some of that happen or something.
I think that'll be a good idea. Maybe like just different stuff, like maybe even workouts and stuff like that.
And,
right, we talked about that too.
Yeah, I spoke with that's why I spoke with my kid. Me and my kid talked earlier today about that. You know, she has a very strong fitness background. You know, and that's and that's something that we spoke about earlier that she said she not mind doing is doing some stuff fitness related with whether it's kids, adults, seniors. I mean, she, like I said before the COVID, she was actually doing some stuff with the seniors, exercise, fitness wise. So,
but it wasn't on virtue though. She was just...
No. It wasn't virtual, like, but what I'm saying, yeah, she, she's still more than interested to do those things, set some virtual programs up for seniors, adults, kids, what have you.
Oh, I like it. I like that. I like it.
And John, what you might want to do too is just go to Google and just Google virtual exercise, virtual bingo. There's a lot of stuff. I know if my family was able to pull it off
Hey, that might
for
be
a birthday, I know that it can be done.
virtual bingo. That might be something I might be interested in.
Yeah, and they actually passed out gift cards, so I know it can work because we did it in our family, and I know it can work.
Okay.
Our seniors would love that.
Oh yeah,
it was pretty fun.
one question I had, John, on that basketball is there's a plan that if a kid reported that they had tested positive for COVID, do you have some kind of way you work that out? Contact tracing as far as who they came in contact with, I guess, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, first, yeah, they would, of course, they would have to go through the quarantine process. But yeah, we would. I mean, I don't know how far we would go, but we would trace back to who was around, who they've been around, and who, and if they've been around, and really, if that was, I mean, you really would have to almost think about shutting. I want almost think about having to put the team on hold for a minute. And I'll use this as an example. My son played up in Loveland this past season. They had not on his team, but they had on one of the older teams, they had a kid that tested, positive or whatever. So they actually they shut the team down for a couple weeks, because of the, so that would probably be something that we would have to do if that was to happen.
So my question is about the HIPAA law. So what is that? How does that come into play? I know we usually have like Kiana giving us some direction on that. When you talk about somebody who does contact it, who would they? I'm not the guru of that, of how that would work, as far as contact tracing,
Right?
Who
Yeah.
should know, and because it's confidentiality there.
Yeah,
I don't know, because that's not my.
You're right about that. I don't know.
So.
I don't know all the. That would be something that would happen, but I don't know all the ins and outs of that. But that is something that should be figured out.
So could you check on that so you have a plan?
Yep.
In case that happens, Kiana or the Board of Health, you can check with them.
Yep.
Or whatever you need to do so that we have an official plan of what we would do if that came up, and then it, Jerry or whomever, or we would have it.
Okay.
So, okay. And the kids would have it. You can pass it out to the children once you get it together. But I think that's good, just in case. We'll have something in place of what we need to do. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. In the fitness stuff, I'm pumped with what we have said about that. Anybody else have anything to say about the programs? John was talking about possibly starting a winter camp and an after-school camp. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'm in the process now of putting a proposal together for both, to have a winter camp for when the kids are out of school for the 2 weeks on Christmas break, and then an after-school program Monday through Friday. Still putting those things together. There's nothing set in stone. Just working the logistics out of it, doing as far as budget, staff, and what we would need, and how much it would cost, and meeting with Jerry to go over those things and going from there.
Okay.
But it would basically, run the same way. And the good thing about it is the size of the building that we have. Just like with camp, we can, we actually would have less, because we wouldn't take any more than 10 kids. So it'd be the same 10 kids, and we would say we have the different rooms. We would keep them, we would social distance them. They would have their own area like they did with camp. And it would basically run the same way. With, activities, fun activity, and there will be a educational piece that would go with it. And like I said, all that stuff will be in my proposal that I'm putting together currently.
And when you get one together, could you send it to us so we can?
I sure will.
What's going on when you go over it with the village manager? Okay, so you would have that. If you would, when you're talking about that being in December.
Yeah, the winter camp, winter camp would just run the 2 weeks that the kids are out for Christmas break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions on that? On number 5, we're still talking about that budget. That's the same stuff we had before, but let me just say this. I've talked to Tim and I haven't talked to Jerry yet. But Tim is going over a financial plan for the recreation moving forward. He was talking about surveys out to the community about what they expect and what they want. And I know you do that too, John. So if you talk about it, I guess with Jerry and Tim, because he said he's going to get with you to get these surveys out about programming.
Yeah, I can resend it. I thought a while back I had put a survey together a while ago to about the program, programs that we've had and what, but I can email that and and we can figure out how. Go ahead.
Tim as well.
Okay.
Tim.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I can go over this a little bit too, Ms. Boyd, since Tim is not on tonight. A few of these, if you have the actual revenue status sheets.
Oh, yes.
I see on this bullet number 5, he examined the cost from 2015 to 2019 to plan for acceptable revenue increase moving forward. According to the literature, the revenue literature, 2 to 4% increase yearly in revenue with a median of some type of about 2.5%. Hopefully he wants to increase, of course, revenues 10 to 20% for 2021 because revenues were way down for 2020. Of course, even more due to COVID because, we don't have as much foot traffic coming in, but we got to try to solve how much revenue and how to generate more revenue at the rec center. That has been a topic of discussion, and I think it will continue to be a topic of discussion because, of course, we can't run a rec center without getting some type of additional revenue in. We get a lot from our general fund, from our taxpayers, but that's just not enough to move forward. So we got to come up with more programs and ideas to try to draw in some revenue for the future. I know that I've talked to Tim about that on several occasions, and he's mentioned that to the council as well, as that's very important that we try to brainstorm and figure out how to do that. So he gave us I think it's like 4 or 5 pieces of paper. I don't know if you have them. The first one that I have that he gave us was the revenue status, and it just gives us a list of what the final budget was because this is as of 9/30/2020. Revenue that we thought we were going to get in, that we expected in, and then what the difference is. So if you look on the back, the total, if you want to go through each one of these, you can. It includes, the swim pool, concessions, any type of revenue we are supposed to get in, property taxes, etc. It shows that the final budget was $281,169. Revenue in was about 186, and so the budgeted balance left was like $100,000. So we were way under the revenue that we thought we were going to get in. He budgeted quite a few that he thought we were going to get in. And the second group, it says receipts at the top. So these are receipts that we're paying out. So you can see at the top here, there's a whole list of categories, which we went over this pretty much too. Deposits and things. And this is through September 2020. It include recreation entry fees. So if you got some membership fees and things like that, that's what that is. And then the third group is appropriation status, and it has several groups in here. It talks about the life insurance, telephone, all these expenses that he's appropriated out. And if you look at the very total, he has these are kind of small. He appropriated for about $604,000 against liabilities that we were expected to pay of $46,000, and then there's an expenditure line of things that we owe and what's left from the liability, and the total was like $310,000. And like I said before, this is stuff that we go over pretty often every meeting, and it's divided up into the general fund. So you got your general fund and you got your food greens.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's that coronavirus relief fund that we've been talking about. He did has 0 here for the actual pool piece and the recreation, but I know that we have been granted some coronavirus relief funds as far as for the police and fire and some things that we've been able to purchase for them as well. So you can go over this in your leisure if you want, but these are some of the same documents that we go over during our monthly finance meeting if anybody is interested. But we do know that there's some room for improvement as far as trying to figure out what programs work at our rec center just to try to get it going once COVID hopefully decides to leave us.
Say if we budgeted, I'm not sure about how much we budgeted for the year, but are we way under that because of the fact that our director is not there and we haven't been operating with our part-time staff? We usually,
Well, we're not bringing any revenue in. So when you look at that, the revenue is just at a halt. So
Okay.
you're still spending money on what they call operating expenses. You still got to pay for a building, the lights,
okay.
the staff that's still working. So though we are getting some relief from not having a recreation director present at this time, we still have expenses that we're still paying just because we don't have that additional revenue of some sort coming in from membership or from things that we've had down there in the past. We just don't have that at this point. So
The rentals.
yeah, rentals, just any type of money that we would charge somebody to get in, we're still keeping up the grounds and things like that. That still has to happen. So we know that this it was a tough year for our recreation center, but we hope at some point we will get back on track with the great things that we've done here.
And we'll not be able to do rentals the entire time that we're under this state of emergency? Like, that's the understanding that we won't be able to do any rentals?
Until further notice. I'm looking right now until at least the end of the year. There won't be any, from now to the end of the year. And then it'll be something that will be revisited next year. But as long as these numbers are still going up,
Right.
it's not going to happen.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
On the next page, I talked about grant opportunities and grant writers. John, they did have a free program down at the library downtown. And I would imagine they probably have some type of webinars. So I would like if you talk with Jerry and you can look into that. Maybe you could take some kind of training and get certified in some of the grant writings, because there's a lot of grants that were out there. We have to see what's still out there with COVID. There might even be some COVID grants, I don't know, where you can supplement some of your programming and will take the weight off of the general fund. So, and then you can take these classes. They had actual face-to-face classes. I'm assuming those are probably webinars now or some type of online deal. But would you look into that, and then you can let Jerry know? Because I have on here, can the co-directors at the Recreation Center be responsible for seeking and writing grants? You could see, but I had already planned in March. I was supposed to be going to one down at the public library. I think, Pam, you had asked to go too, but it got canceled with the state of emergency.
Ms. Boyd, the finance director sends out weekly grant opportunities.
His are county ones though, aren't they? I think he said he's not, his aren't private ones. Like for instance, the Cincinnati Reds, that's private. I think what he sends out are the county ones, because I did talk to him about that. I'm not sure, but I think he says his aren't the private grants that are out there, and there are a ton of them. Well, they were. I don't know what's going on with COVID.
There are. He's gonna
Okay.
wait for RFPs.
Now, what he might send out with the county ones might include some kind of COVID funding or something. So check with him, John. There might be something out there with COVID. I'm not sure. But maybe to do, well, it's not, I don't know if you would have enough time, but when you're talking about these winter camps and after school programs, I know that I was a part of a program for 6 years where, for instance, the Cleveland Cavaliers ran we paid for it with our after school program with money from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I did ran after when I worked for Cincinnati Public.
Oh,
We all
okay.
worked that. We got the 21st Century Grant
Right,
for 5 years, and we, basically, worked off of that. It was a $5 million grant for 5 years, so it was $1 million a year.
Yeah, those are like state. Now that would be, those are government grants.
Right.
The private grants, like they're out there.
Yeah.
You have to go through your village manager and the finance director anytime you're bringing money into the village.
That was cool, yeah, because you got to, get in contract people to come in and do stuff with the kids and stuff.
So yeah, you could use that, or maybe, so I'm not sure what's out there, but it'd be good if you took that training, because I mean, it's something on your resume too. Your training and grant writing.
Yeah.
So if you could look into that and let me know if it's some way I can help you. I know you got a long list of stuff to do, but or my Kia could look into it and see what's out there right now.
Okay.
And then for the last thing is the update on electronic sign-in procedures. Basically, this is the same thing I had on the one for September 1st, but basically, I think you've had some webinars.
Yeah. So everything that we've done, I go back to the spin class that we did have, and the Zumba, the memberships. We don't I can say we don't use paper sign-ins no more. We went through the training, so now everybody is in their program or in their membership, and we can sign them in, and they can check in, and they can come in and check in without having to actually sign in anymore.
That's great.
So we are, we're moving in the right direction. We are, we're getting there. So because it was a lot of paperwork, a lot of those papers, just sign-ins and stuff. And that's, we gotta do something different.
Can you use wands, or like those wands they use at the Y or something, key fobs or something?
What, like something like this?
Yeah. Where you, when you go in the Y, you want it or something. What did we do?
You scan your pass when you come
got a scanner, like this thing right here. You scan it.
Okay, right. Yeah. So can the people
Okay. Yeah. They come in and we scan it, and then, like I said, their thing will pop up on the screen, and they.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that's not just with the programs. That's with basketball and everything.
Great.
When they come in, they give me their name, and I go right in, check them in, and they go. They don't have to. That way, and that keeps a lot of people away from the desk. They come in, and then I'm figuring them out by name, so by faces. So when I see them, I know who they are. So I go to their, check them in, takes a couple seconds, check them in. Done. Yep.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. And we talked about the acceptable payment forms, and you all have been on that and different things that you.
Yeah, because that kind of stuff can be audited. So we definitely want to make sure that we have our controls in place for that.
Yes, because you can go out.
Yeah, because they ask for that type of information. They test those controls.
Yeah, you go right on rec desk and access all that information. Yep.
Yeah, I know that we had questions from Ashley in making sure that that type of process is complete.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
That's great. Okay, I know Tim and Ashley did webinars on that as well as you.
Yeah, so, we all did it together. We did it.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it together.
Okay, that's great.
We're waiting on the.
Tim told us that with his background, he told us, those can be tested. So we just want to make sure that we pass those controls.
Yeah.
Great.
Just waiting on, I guess, what the latest what we're going to do as far as with the credit card thing.
Yeah. Tim can definitely help you with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that? That's good. Any new?
I have new business.
Okay.
Just a question about Thanksgiving. Are we, is the village, I want to say in the past have done something down at the rec center. I'm not sure if it's, you or just the total village, but I know it ended up at the rec center. Will something be done for Thanksgiving for anyone who needs it?
I spoke with the mayor for a second. As of right now, we're doing we're starting a food drive and a coat drive. I've reached out to down to Woodlawn Elementary School already to get a list of kids, who might, need the extra, assistance or help. And then I was gonna give that list to the mayor and then go from there. But that's what we spoke about. We're gonna a coat drive and a canned food drive.
You know what would be nice? Now you can think about this. This is my little mind that always thinking. You could tell me to just be quiet and I'll be okay with it. But maybe we could do some type of drive-by for that. People really have been great in helping. I know I volunteered in several places over the last few months, and they're great at giving. And if they don't have to get out their car to do it, I think they would love it.
I would be all in for that.
So we could I don't know how you could plan it. It would be totally up to you, but maybe an hour or two on some weekend, maybe like a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And just have people drive in between, I don't know, 10 and 12, just like we do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And just have them drive in and they can give they can make a food donation, a coat donation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we could maybe get Monica's help by doing an all call.
Yeah. I'll be out.
A couple signs. And I think people would be willing to do it.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. I like that.
I wonder if we could get with someone like a Kroger's or something to give out something just for giving it, or even McDonald's, like some sort of certificate. If you give 3 canned goods, you get a free ice cream cone from McDonald's or something. I know I've done that in the past for Woodlawn when I used to help with their PFO many years ago.
Okay.
And you would just have to coordinate with the manager at Kroger's. You literally could probably call up there and see if there's something they can do, and just tell them that you're trying to run this coat and food drive for the school. And believe it or not, people are willing to help. And Chick-fil-A might be another one that you could get some free fries or something like that. So if you donate 3 items of some sort, even if it's stuffing for Thanksgiving, then they would be eligible for for a certificate or something. It was just like giving something back to them for just driving up and helping.
Okay.
That would be a great idea. And yes, Rosemary.
What I will say before you go out to solicit any type of donations, in the past, we've had a letter that we would send with that person, because we don't want everybody going out soliciting donations, because it can't get cumbersome and it can get out of hand.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that whomever is going to go out, that they do have we used to have a letter that we would, that would go with that person that's going out.
Ms. Rosemary, do you know who we might be able to reach out to, who we could go to as far as maybe retrieving it, or if we need to do another letter, or?
I don't know if Monica may have had a copy of that letter, or
I did not, but I can.
If the village manager does, but we need to do that. That has to be a coordinated effort.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just
so that we don't have everybody going out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Fire department does it a lot, Ms. Rosemary, so they may have something.
Okay. But if
Fire
not,
department.
yeah, if not, we just want to make sure that we do another letter, or we get another letter, and it's signed by the mayor or the whoever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll leave that in your hands. I was just suggesting something when you said about food drive, the Coke and the donut.
I like to. I
That
love.
drive,
I
yeah,
love the
I'm just
drive-in
suggesting
idea,
it.
though. I love the
that
drive-in.
drive-by was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
You can make a list of items that you want for your
We can
food
set-
items if it's
we
for
can set up,
Thanksgiving or
we
whatever.
can set up right outside the rec center in the little drive-through, like little area in the
Right.
front.
Did you hear what Monica was saying?
No,
I would just make it detailed and
Mhm.
whatever list that you want is for perishables, or even if people want to do turkeys, but a list of the items that you want, so you can make that particular basket up for that family.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
have those certain items, so you won't just be getting random things.
So, yep, I'm just waiting to get, hear back from the school, as I reached out to them last week about, giving me a list of kids.
Okay. All right, that sounds great. Oh, I thought it said, okay. I thought my clock said 9 o'clock. I said 9. No. Okay, that sounds good. Any other new business? And let us know what help you need, John, whatever help you need, we can all we're all very willing to help you with this, and let us know what you need.
Okay.
Is there any other business to be discussed? Okay, well, I need a motion for adjournment.
This is Mr. Lawson. I make a motion for adjournment tonight.
Okay, and I second that. And thank you, everyone. And thank you, John.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good meeting, John. Keep up the good work, John.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Good job. See you guys later.
Thank you.